I'm here to talk about why college athletes should be getting paid. And my name is Eric Cool. Quick rundown of what we're going to talk about: reasons and arguments against why they shouldn't be getting paid, and in fact why they should be getting paid, and a solution to the problem. Okay, first, to talk about it, most people against college athletes getting paid say they're on scholarship, it's a free education. That is true, and while students are receiving the opportunity to go to school and play sports, that is a major responsibility. And with the scholarship, it requires them having room and board paid for, it pays for tuition and fees and other expendable expenses that they have. It's also a tool to use for them to use to have an education, a higher learning, and also a higher percentage of students that play sports at the high level don't have student loans to pay back like other students that don't play sports and have or that are on scholarship, which is one of the reasons why people feel like they shouldn't be getting paid, since they have that advantage over most people. Also, marketing. Teams and players that are very high profile are exposed to other markets. They're on television, they have interviews with other big time shows like The Tonight Show, maybe ESPN and stuff like that. So they're getting exposed to have opportunities after their life of college sports, which benefits them more than the regular average student, which would help them. And also, being a student athlete means you go to school for free and you have to maintain a certain GPA to keep your scholarship on top of that. So with all that, people believe they shouldn't be getting paid because they have an advantage that they don't have to pay student loans back, they're exposed to other opportunities that most regular students won't have, and on top of all of that, they're going to school for free, and it's all about school for, people say it's all about school, but I have a good amount of facts that will prove that it's not all about school. Okay. These facts are coming from the Forbes list, well, Forbes.com, Time Magazine, and ESPN. Now, typically, the Division I football player spends 43.3 hours per week practicing with their sport. That's 3.3 hours more than the average employee in America. Also, the NCAA tournament actually requires student athletes to miss six or more classes during the time that they're in the tournament. Also, from people that I know who play Division I sports, their coaches regulate them and manage what they say on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any other type of social media outlet, which I don't understand, because if you're a regular student, you can say whatever you want. Like, say you went to a basketball game and your team loses and you go on Facebook and say, oh, the team sucked. I believe, and many other people believe, why couldn't a player just say that without having any penalty? Also, the NCAA tournament makes $500 million off the NCAA tournament, which just happened, which finished last night. But this is based off a study of 2012, which made $1,500 million off of ad revenue in 2012, which is more than the NFL made, NBA, MLB, and NHL made in 2012. Also, 40 out of the 50 states' highest paid public officials just so happen to be currently the state university head men's basketball coach or football coach. And Alabama's football coach, Nick Saban, he had a contract deal. He was making $5.4 million per year, which just recently has been extended to make $7 million a year in the next upcoming years. Also, if the NCAA tournament was to pay everybody, every single player that was in the NCAA tournament in 2012, each player would have got up to $600,000 from the tournament. And also, the NCAA has a bigger, the NCAA March Madness men's tournament is watched more than any other, makes more money than the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, and MLB and NHL Finals. And I have a short video that explains one example of a group of kids that were taken advantage of in college by the system.
The one thing about the Europe trip, it made us feel like pros. It didn't make us feel like college kids anymore. And it made us start paying attention more to the business aspect of the game. Like, we're in Europe playing against pro teams. The stands are full. Somebody's getting paid this summer, and it's not us.
Exacerbating the immense pressure was their belief that they were now cogs in a money-making machine. Baggy shorts, t-shirts, trading cards, virtually anything featuring the iconic Block M.
It's cute. I might give it a try.
As freshmen, they felt excited. As sophomores, they felt exploited.
I didn't feel like a college kid anymore. I felt like a professional athlete that wasn't getting paid. I remember we were in Chicago one time, and we went downtown to the Nike outlet, and we walked past a display. It said, Fab 5 Nikes. That's when you start realizing having your own shoe doesn't necessarily put money in your pockets.
A year after the Wolverines won their only title in 1989, merchandise royalties totaled $1.6 million. Following the Fab Five's freshman season, that number would climb to a 2-year total of $10.5 million. It was amateur athletics, but business was booming for everyone except the Fab Five themselves.
Perception of our lifestyle that we were living like rock stars. We weren't living that lifestyle. That just wasn't what it was. We were eating cereal some night, you know, cooking hot dogs. That was our lifestyle. We lived just like every college student.
I drove a green Dodge Shadow that my mother gave me. All right? That's why it kills me when they try to act like we was getting it so big.
The only perks that we really got were pooling our money together to go to Taco Bell. They recognized who we were and gave us more taco.
Now, that is one of the many cases of players and student athletes being taken advantage of. And for a solution, and many people agree and disagree with this, but most people feel like this will probably be the outcome in maybe the next 10, 15 years, that since the players don't have the opportunity to go out and have a regular college lifestyle, like most other students, they say they should pay them for like going out on weekends or, over the breaks and stuff like that. Financial aid doesn't cover everything that they have to do, and they can't do work study since they practice so much, so this will be a source or a way to pay them within limits so they can have some type of spending money or just have some type of fun when they're not practicing. And that is why I believe college athletes should be getting paid.